What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now this is going to be my ultimate tank build. This is Title Update 10 and man, you will not die using this build. I have been doing open world heroics. I have been doing just heroic missions in general, DZ, manhunts, even did some conflict PvP. All of that I will show you guys in some clips. I've got over 10 minutes of gameplay of just us wrecking agents, wrecking bosses, wrecking elites, everything, you name it. This is a great tank build, but it also is a great support build of the way you use it. And on top of that, you still get your damage at the end of the day. It's really funny watching people die when you're not running anything but just blues on blues on blues. I love it. But alright, with all that said and done, shout out to the DoD Disciples of Doom. Don't forget about our Discord and my Twitter. But alright, here we go. The ultimate tank build for Title Update 10. Now, starting off at the top, well, actually, let's just go straight to the stats, because that's all everyone cares about. Alright, defensive stats. Just look at this before I explain it to you. I'm just under 1.85 million armor. This can get a lot higher, however, it's RNG, so it's only as good as what you get to drop. Or, in this case, you could craft a few things, but again, it's all RNG based, so you can make this build even better, but this is a great starting point. You have 1.85 million armor with 234,000 armor on kill and 103,000 armor regeneration per second. Come on. 103,538 armor regen with that armor on kill and total armor. You can already see it shows you on the right hand side of the screen. There's a yellow name there. I am wearing a named chest piece and a named rifle. So let's just summarize it real quick before I even get into it. This is a armor regen support hybrid build. You have 3-piece Foundry, Bulwark, which just came out with TU10 2 days ago. And you are using 3 Gila, which gives you total armor, health, and armor regen. So I'm getting armor regen out of both of those. On top of that, on my backpack, I'm using Adrenaline Rush, which whenever I get close to an ally, I get 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds, and it stacks up to 3 times. So I could get another 60% bonus armor if I just rush into a group of enemies or pop rogue in the middle of a group, or anything like that. Rush into a landmark, rush through a mission. You get a lot of bonus armor. You will not die using this build, I promise you. So using that for the backpack just gives me more armor on armor, and for myself and my teammates, I am using Perfect Vanguard. So when I deploy a shield, it's invulnerable for 5 seconds, and it grants 50% of my armor as bonus armor to all other allies. That is huge. That is really big with manhunts. I was showing that, well, I will show that in the gameplay after this build breakdown. But doing manhunts, say, they find out I'm the tank player, so they try to kill my buddies. Well, I can time my Perfect Vanguard for the right moment, and I could give them, half of my armor as bonus armor, which is what, nearly 1 million armor. And man, it's just amazing. You get your manhunts quick. You get your conflict games won faster. You get through missions fairly easy. You can tank, named bosses pretty much, like just to their face. It's pretty legit. You will not die using this build, I promise you. There's so much gameplay to show you, it's unbelievable. But alright, so enough about that, blah blah blah. Let's get into the build breakdown. Starting off at the top, this is the Gunner Specialization. Reason why I'm using that is I get my armor on kill and I get that nice bonus armor when I pop a med kit. It's really, really rare that I have to pop a med kit, but when I do, having that bonus armor with this much base armor is pretty much a game changer. You can just out tank pretty much anything. The only things that I'm seeing problems with is if you are getting face tanked by 3 different players and say like 2 of them are behind you and one's facing you. That's the only time that I feel like, you know, this isn't as tanky as it should be. Because I could face tank that first guy, kill him, and then turn to the other 2 that have been face tanking me in the back, and then kill another guy, but by the time I get to that 3rd guy, they've already, you know, taken away my shield. But yeah, it's really not bad at all. This build is legit. Now, going to the weapons, I'm using the Harmony for my primary weapon and the Vector for my secondary. The Vector got a pretty nice buff in Title Update 10, and using this with a shield is just mwah, it's really nice. Now the Harmony, this is the new named rifle that just came out with Title Update 10 as well, and this one comes with that talent Perfect in Sync. Now this is how I'm getting my damage. What I did is I rolled max damage to targets out of cover on this rifle. You can buy this rifle, by the way, at Dark Zone Vendor, I believe. And what I did is I rolled damage to targets out of cover on the bottom, because using Perfect in Sync, what I do to have Perfect in Sync is I use the Striker drone. What I do with that Striker drone is as soon as I get up to the enemies, I pop my shield. My shield's invulnerable. All my teammates get that bonus armor that are around me, and I proc that adrenaline rush on my backpack, which gives me that bonus armor. So what I do is I whip out that shield, everyone gets a buff of armor, and then I throw out my Striker drone because I'm usually right next to enemies when I do that. And then all of a sudden I have Perfect in Sync after the first shot of using the Harmony. Now the Harmony, for the damage, it's only at 141.5k total damage. I am using no blue or no red core attributes, all blues. So this is pretty much as high as you're going to get it. You see that my rifle damage is only at 10%. So you are missing 5% right there. That could bump you up a couple thousand, but not much. I also have 11% crit damage, and then like I said, I rolled that max damage to targets out of cover. So Perfect in Sync, what this does is when I hit them with that Striker drone, like I was just telling you, and I shoot them with this rifle, I get 20% skill damage when I shoot them with my rifle. My Striker drone, just like everyone knows, it's like that little tick, 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 tick. It's just shooting you in the back of the head the whole time you're fighting. It's ridiculous. So what that's doing is that's giving me 20% weapon damage. Well, if you time it out right, you rush up to the people, whip out your shield, you're invulnerable, throw out your Striker drone, and then start shooting them with your rifle, you will automatically get this bottom part of this talent. It says damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. So if you time it out just right, the first shot you shoot with this weapon, you'll see all 3 of your Perfect in Sync buffs active at the same time. So your drone's hitting them for 40% more, your rifle's hitting them for 40% more, and you're invulnerable, you're a tank. It's pretty, like, nothing's going to get past you, I promise. It's amazing. So that's how I use the primary. For the secondary, I use the Vector with Optimist. So my weapon damage is increased for every 10% ammo missing from the magazine. This one, base damage 56.6k with 15% SMG damage, 15.5 crit chance, and 9% damage to targets out of cover. I try to get that damage to targets out of cover because basically everyone I'm going against is out of cover, so you want that. Now, I didn't show you guys the attachments. Now, what I did is I went for weapon handling, stability, and accuracy on my rifle. It basically doesn't move at all. And then the sturdy extended mag at the bottom for the extra rounds. For the Vector, I went crit damage, crit damage, crit damage. And yeah, just because it already has an okay base crit chance, why not just try to get the most out of it? If I'm using the vector, I'm in a time crunch scenario where I need to mow them down as quick as possible. So crit damage, and then the oversized mag for the magazine attachment. For the sidearm, I'm just using a double barrel sawed-off. Nothing really. I mean, if I can't get him with my rifle or my vector, then I can whip out this bad boy. It's at 868.8k base damage, and yeah, it's pretty wicked. Now, as far as the build, I've already told you guys that it's 3 Foundry Bulwark and 3 Gila, so it should be pretty quick going through these. Alright, starting off with the mask. Like I said, you can get the base armor up, but I was going for armor regen for this hybrid. Now the Foundry Bulwark, that is your new gear set that just came out in Title Update 10. With that, I'm using the 2 and the 3-piece bonuses. So using 2-piece, I get 10% total damage, or total armor. And then with the 3 pieces, I get 3% armor regen. That's how I'm getting my armor regen so high up. Now the core attribute, I only have 107 armor because this is the only Foundry Bulwark mask I have been able to find so far. So I'm only working with what I got. I rolled max armor regen on there, and then the blue mod slot I threw on there, armor on kill. Now looking at the Gila backpack, I actually rolled this one at the crafting table. Again, I don't have a max core attribute for the armor. This one's only at 146,000, so you can get that up higher. Now the Gila brand set bonuses, I am running the 3, so I have 5% total armor, 10% health, and 1% armor regen. For the normal attributes, weapon handling, 6.5%. I rolled on there max armor regen, and then for the blue mod slot, I have more armor on kill. It also came with the backpack talent adrenaline rush. Like I've already explained this, but I'll explain it again. Whenever you are within 10 meters of an enemy, you gain 20% armor for 5 seconds. So what I do is I run into the group. There's usually 3 or 4 of them standing together. And as soon as you pop rogue, you automatically get all 3 stacks. That gives you 60% bonus armor. So for those of you that like to run and gun, like to rush, get in there. This will give you that extra bonus armor that'll help you win that firefight. And that is Adrenaline Rush. That's the backpack talent that just came out in Title Update 10. Now the chest piece is the Point Man chest piece. Can't really have this build without it. Not the way I'm running it because of that perfect Vanguard we've already gone over. But this one, 157,000 for the core attribute armor. You can get that up to 170, so again, you're losing a lot of armor, but it's all based off of your RNG. I have skill haste at 10.1, and then max armor regen. The blue mod slot, again, armor on kill. That's how I got my armor on kill up there to, 235,000. Now the gloves, Gila gloves, I crafted these, so it's not the best in the world. However, it has decent core attribute of armor, 124,000, and then I rolled on there max armor regen. So again, it's pretty much all these pieces. None of them are maxed out for the core attribute. So you could get around 2 million armor if you farm it for long enough. Foundry Bulwark holster. Base armor 149,717, and then I rolled on there max armor regen. And then finally the Foundry Bulwark knee pads, 157,000 base armor for the core attribute, and then I rolled on there again max armor regen. So I'm not going with the Bulwark shield, I'm going with the Crusader so that I can use my rifle, and it does work. This one, because I have the tier 6, I have 4.7 million health for the shield, and that helps a lot with the perfect Vanguard. You're invulnerable for a bit, you get that bonus armor from the Adrenaline Rush, and then you can use the Crusader shield. It's a done deal. I'm using the Striker drone to proc my perfect in sync with my primary weapon, so that's the reason why I'm using that. And let's finish up with the stats. try to make this as short as possible. Weapon stats, this is for the Harmony, 141,000 weapon damage. PvP, it goes down to 49,000. 6.2 crit chance with 46 crit damage and 60 headshot damage. Go to the offensive tab, 10% all weapon damage bonus, 25% rifle damage bonus. So my Harmony has 35% damage bonus total, but the good stuff is in the defensive tab. 1.85 million armor, 235,000 armor on kill, 103,500 armor regen, and 310,000 health. You will not die using this build, I promise you. But alright, you guys, I tried to do that as fast as possible because here is the gameplay. So yeah, without further ado, Kamikazevondoom, hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, roll that gameplay. See you.
Boost. They'll be pulled out. An agent needs assistance. System disrupted. System restored. An agent needs assistance.
Keep the pressure on them. What? Go ahead.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Another. Hey. Grenade away! Get that ball away from me! Shit! Come on!
contaminated gear. Hostile patrol detected. System curtailed. System rack. Rogue agent nearby. Rogue Restorer Hive detected. Rogue Defender drone detected.
Gila will depart in 30 seconds.
Rogue agent neutralized nearby. Nearby rogue agent killed.
We're going in 15 seconds.
Rogue agent neutralized nearby. Nearby rogue agent killed.
Pickup begun. Finishing extraction.
Hilo is returning to base. Rogue Hive detected. Rogue Defender drone detected. Rogue Mentor Seeker Mine detected. Hilo is headed back. Contaminated gear detected. Rogue Mentor Seeker Mine detected. Rogue Hive detected. Serious trauma detected. Now detecting contaminated gear. Contaminated gear detected. Allies have acquired the boost.
If the enemy doesn't turn this around, they'll be pulled out.
An agent needs assistance.